So making the most of the trip over here to the other side of the world, I jumped on a plane this morning. 45 minutes later, I'm in the Netherlands. So who's in the Netherlands? Well, these guys here, they make a few products that I use. Let's go and have a look at the factory to see how these things are made.
Yeah, this one is for you.
So there's a quick peek at day one at Tacx headquarters here in the Netherlands. Cheers, thank you so much. I'm Peter Mullins, shout outs. I'm at Macca's here in the Netherlands. I know you'd be proud, Peter. Check this out. That is a real fry. That's not a freedom fry. That's pretty good stuff. So I met most of the team at Eurobike last year, but it was good to visit them at their headquarters and see what everything was all about in regards to the manufacturing and the testing and the prototyping and everything that, I guess, everything Tacx. So my observations, well, 2 words, in-house. The molds, the machining, the prototyping, the production, the testing, the packaging, it was all within their control. They controlled everything from start to finish. So it was quite impressive to see that they've kept a lot of that in-house and haven't outsourced everything. There's a lot of advantages for doing this, and it also explains how fast they've responded to a lot of my support tickets that I've put in. It's the people on the ground right there who are involved and can machine something, can check something, and I think the term I heard quite a bit this week was the lines of communication are very short. So my favourite robot that I saw this week, the welding machine. So the second favourite robot was the Neo Magnet gluing device, I think it was. I'll show a little bit of that here. It was just, it's a performance. It's not a machine, it's a performance. Great to watch. I was also impressed with the calibration and the checking process and the higher end smart trainers. There's a whole production line, or a street I think they call them, don't quote me on that, but the production line of everybody checking those high end smart trainers, and also the calibration process. Next up, the prototyping and the machining of the materials they had. The one best machine that I saw for that was the wire cutter. Now I thought it was like a wire cutting a wire. No, it was a piece of wire that cuts one big long spool of wire, and it is super fine and super thin. Here's two objects that they've produced, I guess just as an example, it's prototyping, and the tolerances are next to nothing in between these. So here's a little bike that slides straight into the bike, and this other little machine widget fidget thing here, it just slid in perfectly. I think Tacx could make a pretty killer fidget spinner if they really wanted to use all that machine for evil, I guess, not for good, which is smart trainers. Yesterday I put up a Facebook post asking if anybody had any questions for Tacx. Here are a few of those now and a few answers. Is there a new version of the Neo Smart on the cards? Well, not that I saw, sorry. And I'm guessing that's kind of under lock and key if it was anyway. Is there a new Neo firmware anytime soon? Well, there was a recent Neo firmware that updated quite a bit in regards to road feel and road inertia. So if you haven't done that Neo upgrade, definitely check if your Neo needs this upgrade. It changes quite a lot. It improves the road feel inertia of the trainer itself. There's also a lot of room to move still with the Neo. We saw that with the road feel or the road rumbles that came out last year with just a firmware update. So there's still a ton of stuff the guys can do with that. Why the name Neo? Let me get the pronunciation of this correct. Well, it's the magnets in the Neo are neodymium magnets. So it's the magnets that are actually inside the unit, so that's where the word Neo comes from. Are they Llama proofing their products? Great question there. And the answer is yes. They've actually got a test bench they call the virtual Llama. Really, I'm not joking. Here is the picture of the virtual Llama test bench, which tests trainers at certain wattages and certain ranges. But I'm happy that I've got, I guess, a little bit of my legacy there at Tacx already. So there's a wrap of day one where we looked at product design, workshop, molding and steel, assembly, quality control, and warehouse, and everything in between. It was A to B, right through to Z from the Tacx warehouse and the Tacx factory there. So it was really, really good to see. So because I cover a lot of this tech and a lot of the smart trainers, it was really good to get some hands-on with these guys and FaceTime and talk tech, talk designs, talk the future of trainers and where things are going and where things are. And look, it's going to help me bring more informed content for everyone. So this trip over here has been well worth my time. So as you can imagine, spending 2 days here, I've got quite a lot of content. So this is just the first video I have from here in the Netherlands. There's a few more coming, so if you'd like to see those and want to see the notifications of those, hit subscribe wherever that subscribe button is. A few people have mentioned that there's no notifications coming through anymore. On YouTube, there's a little bell. I'll put a little picture to the bell. Click on that bell and you'll get an email or whatever notifications you set up for these new videos. So there's a few more coming, and you may want to see those. So thanks for watching. I'm going to finish off my chips and my burger today, and we'll be back very soon with more content from over here in the Netherlands.